everybody. We are back once again. It's the Realist, and I'm your host Isaiah Bagnah. And man, it's been a long time coming. It's been a wonderful, I'm gonna call this a season. It's been a wonderful season so far, bro.
Yeah.
It has been. We've had a lot of great memories, a lot of great guests, and all that stuff, and we're gonna dive into it. Don't worry. However, though, there's some things I just want to check on first. We just finished watching. Technically, we just finished watching the final game of the March Madness, and go Gators, huh?
Yeah, man.
It's kind of crazy.
That was crazy, that last shot.
Did you say that one of your brackets you had Florida winning?
Yeah, dude.
That's kind of cool.
I won like every bracket that one was in.
Damn.
98.8% correct.
That's pretty impressive.
I gotta show it off.
Will the camera pick it up?
We'll find out. But I mean, I was kind of. Can you guys see that, Craig?
Yeah.
Not really.
Super much.
Anyway,
that's sick though, man.
Yeah.
I knew I should have made one.
Ranked 270,000 out of all the brackets.
Dang.
But I'm still a little bummed because I wanted the Big 12 to win.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
It would have been cool.
That would be cool. Speaking of the Big 12, Houston kind of went crazy at the end of this little stretch. Huh?
You watched the Final Four game?
Yep.
That was a crazy few minutes.
Yeah.
Was it final 8 minutes, Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, final 8 minutes were crazy. And Cooper Flagg, dude, he had a guy right on him, powered down, stopped, got a clean, good look. Just couldn't get it to go.
Isn't that weird? Isn't that crazy, dude? Just how basketball, just one game you're going crazy, and then another game they just find one little thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like works for them.
Playoff NFL, dude. Not so many, but like it seems like often in the playoffs it comes down to a field goal.
Yep, absolutely.
Like at the end of the game, you played your heart out. It's like, okay, you make it, we win. You miss it, we lose.
Yeah.
Or same thing. It comes down to like one last possession. Like, all right, you're down by 1, you got the ball.
Yeah.
Or you're down by 2, whatever it is. Like you got the ball.
Now it's up to you, brother.
Yeah.
Crazy. Craig, did you make a bracket?
Yeah.
Who'd you have?
Dude, tell them the good news, Craig.
Yeah, I had Florida, and if you look at the Coup Connect group, number 1 is me.
Really?
So, yeah. Get the
hell yeah
cash prize.
Cash prize.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Awesome.
So there you go, Craig.
He's walking away with $230.
$230
for having the best bracket in the Coup
yeah,
Connect group.
That's sick, bro. Congratulations.
Shout out to Kevin for taking second.
Dude, Kevin, his brother,
took second,
the other producer, took second by 20 points difference. I mean, they both had Florida.
Wow, so it was like right there, huh?
Yeah.
Dang. I bet he's kind of pissed.
Did you give him any crap yet, Craig?
Well, I hadn't won yet.
So. Oh, I mean, he just barely won it.
I'll give him plenty.
Feels me. I would have screenshot it as soon as the buzzer hit. I screenshot it. I'm sending it to bro. I'm saying, yep.
Yeah, better luck next year.
Yeah, that's funny, man. That's awesome. But dude, other than that, there's not what's going on in the sports world?
Shoot, man. Well, BYU had a huge commitment today.
I heard.
Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
Dude. So the highest rated football commit ever, if he makes it onto the field, to actually make it on the field. Because we've had 1 or 2 higher. Ben Olsen was the number 1 player in the country. He signed with us in football. And then signed with us. Went on a mission, flipped on his mission, went to UCLA. And never ended up playing at BYU. But then came back to Provo and lost 58-0 in Provo.
Oof.
I don't know, was he the starting QB in that game even? I don't know, but he was on the squad.
Okay.
But that was our highest commit ever, but he never played. Brock's going to make it here and play, dude. And dude, shout out Brock Harris, man. That kid dude, he could start right now. I'm not even joking.
How tall is he?
6'7", something like that. Dude, there's no holes in his game. I mean, he's a 5-star. Like dude, he is phenomenal.
That's pretty sick. That's a good pickup for BYU, man.
Huge, and I think he's gonna bring some guys with him.
Yeah, no doubt.
So
no doubt. That's good, man. I love to hear it. I love to hear the direction that the program's going into, man.
Yeah, props to Kalani, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Manifesting dubs.
Hell yeah, he is, man. I'm telling you, that man's a genius.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows something that the rest of us don't. He's telling you.
Yeah.
That's awesome, though, man. Well, congrats, Brock. If you listening, bruh, congratulations. I wish nothing but the best of luck to you and success to you in your career here at BYU.
Maybe you guys can connect at some point because they said they've been playing him at D end at 3rd and long, just because he's
Really?
6'7" and a freak. You know, like
Sure.
like hey, go get the quarterback, bro.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about anything. Just keep contained and get the quarterback. Like,
Why not? Why not? That'd be sick.
So maybe he can get a few pointers from old Zay Bagnah.
Yeah, seriously. Absolutely, brother. Just let me know. Just let me know, man. Well, so as I've stated earlier on, this is technically like the last episode of this season, man.
Yes.
This chapter. And it has been incredible. You know, just especially since we first started, because our first episode was it was in summer, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Right, because it was right before fall camp, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
A week before fall camp. And man, we've had damn near every week up to this point. Of course, there's a couple that we missed after the season. But just to see like during the season, preseason, everything that was happening and just seeing everything come to fruition.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've been consistent, man. Pretty consistent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So it's been pretty awesome, bro. And, you know, I'm just so grateful that I've had the opportunity to even be a part of this with you.
Oh, yeah.
Craig, Kev, even all y'all listening, man. Seriously, this has been awesome.
Well, it wouldn't have happened without you, dude. Honestly. Like, you remember we were sitting at Chubby's and, like, talking about it?
Yeah,
and, like,
we're
going to do this, dude. Like, I'll get the stuff and, like, I'll work out the space,
right.
but we're going to do this.
Yeah, man. And I'm super glad. It's been turning out wonderful, bro.
The whole step, like, this whole studio, the whole step to, like, act.
Yes.
Not just talk and play, like, oh, it'd be cool if, but act.
Yeah.
Made because you committed to doing it, and so it's like put pressure on me a little bit, like, oh, I get this ready.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna do this, which I needed that pressure too, right?
Yeah.
Boom, and now here we are. All of Cougar Nation will benefit from this, from the future episodes with us, and from anything else we do here in this space, because you committed and decided to act, man. So
Man,
kind of like you kind of started a legacy of this.
It's crazy.
All this content that's gonna come out kind of started with you, dude. That's cool.
That is pretty cool, and I am honored that, you know, we even got to start this, bro. And you know, everything that you've done to get it started, it's big time, bro. I remember that you said. I remember I was upstairs in your living room.
Yeah.
And we were going over like names, all the stuff, planning it all out and all that.
Yeah.
And just see how far it's came.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, it's impressive.
That's cool.
Been very impressive. So with that being said, in this episode, I want to kind of just have a little recap on a lot of the things that, you know, we've been able to do this season, a lot of people that we've brought on. You know, there's a bunch of knowledge that I've attained from my own personal life.
Yeah.
I'm sure I can speak for you and all the listeners too, you know, at least something. And so with that being said, man, the first thing that I wanted to start with is what was my favorite episode and why. So I'll start first.
Yeah.
I think it's actually kind of funny because one of my favorite episodes was when we had Glasker on here.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, it was what? Was it the first one?
Episode 1.
It was episode 1, huh?
Yep.
It was so cool, bro, because I love Glasker. That's my boy. That's like one of my best friends, man. And when we sat down and had him on the show, not only did it like allow me to have a deeper friendship with him, but also allowed me to learn more about him on a deeper level, on another level, rather than just him being my teammate or just my boy, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
All these things. And there's truthfully no other teammate friend that I would have had to start on the episode as one of the guests.
Right.
So it was really cool to have him on, bro. And just even being in here and having it started, you know, it was the pilot episode, bro.
It was, yeah.
Right? It was a pilot episode. And And that's what started, I think something so cool,
Right.
right? And so, yeah, I think that was just my favorite episode, more so because of just the meaning of it,
Right.
right? And the broader perspective of it all.
And props to Glasker, dude. He was a dope guest.
He was dope.
He like opened up. He was like real.
He was real.
He talked about like kind of developing his relationship with God since he's been to BYU, gaining a different perspective there.
Yep.
And like how he's leveled up his game and like different things. And
Yeah.
and then he just went on from that moment to have this breakout year. Like we all knew he was going to do really well. Like
Right.
you and I both knew,
Right.
He's
But
going to do
dude,
awesome.
he came out and balled out, right? And that's what I mean. Like, it's so cool to see the things come to fruition, man.
The things you guys talked about,
Right? The things we talked about, literally on record.
Yeah.
Right. And so, yeah, man, I'm super proud of him. I'm glad that everything worked out in his favor. And he's getting all the success that he has received because he deserves it, bro. He's a really good individual, great individual. So, yeah, man, it was awesome. But that was my favorite episode.
Yeah.
The sentimental aspect of
Yeah.
it all. You feel me? Although there were some other episodes that I really loved too, right? And I'll actually talk about this later. But what would you say is your favorite episode?
Okay, dude, I have got two answers for this.
Okay.
And you could tell me where we won't go with first. I have my favorite.
I could guess.
I have my favorite episode.
Okay.
But I'll have my favorite guest, and they're not the same. Because I'd like to talk about both. You tell me where
Before
to
you
go
say
first.
that,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about our favorite guests.
Okay.
And
So
why
just talk
after.
about episodes.
So just the episode.
Dude. Our Halloween episode. Do you remember that episode?
I do.
Dude, that was like the weirdest
trippy,
episode.
huh?
Like it was like totally this like shot off into the right field or whatever.
Yeah.
About like, because we talked about like near death experiences in that a little bit. We talked about, it was just fun, dude. For me, it was fun. Like
I agree.
both got to like talk about we talk about sports in every episode, but
Right.
talk about like this non-sports part.
Yeah.
And share these experiences and stuff. And like, I don't know, we got done with that one. We're like, that was a cool little Halloween episode.
Yeah, and it left a little spooked. Didn't we tell some scary stories on it too?
Yeah, dude.
That was a good one, man.
Yeah.
That was good. I wish that we could have had like a Halloween costume on or something like that.
Yeah,
have like a little bit of spider
some
webs
decorations,
right here, maybe.
yeah.
But hey, we know for the future, man.
Going forward.
Regardless of, that was a really good episode. I do remember that one.
So going forward, we're gonna have to zoom you in almost every week.
Yeah.
But when you're in town, we're here. Right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't want any of this, like, I want to see, like, campus in the background when you're in
Right.
town. Like, if you're in town.
Oh, when I'm in town,
We gotta
I'm
be
here.
here.
Yep.
All right.
This is my second home, bro. Damn near. That's awesome. Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. So, yeah, that was a great episode, man. If you guys listening have your own favorite episode that you think, make sure to drop a comment. Let us know. Because I want to know what one it was your favorite episode. I know Jake does too. And
Yeah.
shoot, Kevin and Craig as well. Right? And so it'd be really interesting, man. Maybe you guys agree with us. Maybe you disagree with us. I'm all about just seeing what the audience thinks, man.
Yeah.
So.
And there's some regulars out there, man.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, we got some regulars
we
out
got
there.
we got some regulars, man. So, and appreciate y'all.
For sure.
As a matter of fact, my mom's one of them. Love you, Mom. Appreciate the support. You know what I'm saying? Always, but yeah, let us know. Let us know. So those were our favorite episodes. Craig, do you have a favorite episode?
I don't know, but out of like the things that I learned, I think the Martin Harris one with Scott.
That was really
That
good.
was really good.
That was really good. Wasn't that like what, a month ago? Over a month ago? Like
Around then, yeah.
Something like that. That was a good one. Yeah, honestly, that I would have put that as like my second favorite episode. And honestly, one of my favorite guests as well.
Yeah, it's top 3 for me just because
Yeah.
it was really cool, man.
It was really cool.
It was really nice.
And
of
I
him to
learned
do
a
that.
lot. Yeah, it was big time.
Dude,
bro.
I learned a lot too.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I've taught those chapters in elders quorum or Sunday school. Like I've taught that stuff and I was like, oh, I didn't know. Like the barber story.
Yeah.
And like all these
yeah.
like these different stories. Like I never heard that.
Crazy, bro, because, I've heard stories of Martin Harris and everything like that. However, I've never really been able to put like a personality behind him.
Yeah.
I've never been able to really make it personable in a way. More just so, oh yeah, Martin Harris is my relative.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm a descendant from him. And so to do that, to have Scott come on and give us that perspective, give me that perspective and that knowledge, bro, is like, man, it allowed me to, I feel, honestly connect more with him.
Yeah.
And see those tendencies, those mannerisms within my own self.
Yeah.
So it was really cool, bro. It was really cool. And Scott, if you listening, bro, I appreciate you once again, bro. And we gonna get you back on here. We for sure gonna get you back on here someday, bro. But anyways, heck yeah, Craig.
Good pick, man.
Good stuff, bro.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. All right. Well, with that being said, man, favorite guest that we've had on here so far.
Okay, dude. Glasker's such a good pick. But I'm gonna go with Gary.
Oh, okay.
Dude, Gary.
That was a good one.
He brings just so much energy.
Yeah.
And insight. Like he's very insightful.
He really is.
He's very deep. He's like, I mean, just having dinner with him a few times prior to that.
Yeah.
He's a very deep person. And he's, he's got a lot of faith too.
Yeah, he does.
And that's a really good, in my opinion, that's a good combo.
Yeah.
Because when you got like a lot of depth to you and you also have like some strong faith. And I mean, the whole episode is awesome.
Yeah.
That was a really good one.
See, that's the thing I like about Gary, man, is because, I mean, shoot, we've been in college dang near the same amount. And I remember when he first came through, him and I kind of started to bond over having just like deep conversations.
Yeah.
And because I myself, I like genuine conversations, deep conversations, things about, just conversations that have some value to me, right? And so I remember him and I were just sitting there chatting, bro, one day, and we just chatted for like 30, 45 minutes, just in the hot tub in the facility, bro, just talking about life and certain things and his brother and stuff like that. And so, anyways, after that point, I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get this guy on the podcast because he's very wise.
He is.
He's very wise, very intellectual.
And he dropped nuggets on that podcast too.
He really did, bro. If any of y'all haven't seen it, I totally recommend y'all go see it because, man, he did throw some knowledge out there. And it's really cool just how much he opened up because now you really get to see who Gary truly is.
Yeah.
That's Gary.
Yeah.
That was truthfully Gary.
Well, I've never seen a fake Gary.
I never have either.
Never. Like, even in the interviews and stuff, like, you could tell maybe he's holding back something.
I was going to say, I mean,
but he's not lying.
Kind of
but you have to be. You have to be respectful of other people and things like that. But he's not lying.
No.
Like, that's him. Gary's always like himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no persona of like, oh, let me like put on this persona. No, like, that's good. That doesn't mean he's spilling his deepest, darkest secrets.
Right.
But he's authentic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So shout out Gary, man. That dude, big time, bro. We've had some good guests on here, man.
Yeah.
Some really good guests. I'm trying to think of who mine would be. Oh my gosh. I thought it was always interesting having Trey up on this podcast, man. That dude is awesome, bro. Trey Alexander, you are sick, bro. I love you, man. Got a bright future ahead of yourself.
Yeah,
brother.
absolutely.
But
in football and out of football too.
Oh
man.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just love his character, man. His character is just so different. He's just so, honestly, I can't even give him a specific definition.
Yeah.
He's a great kid.
Yeah.
He obviously works hard. He cares. He obviously has, I believe he has a good head on his shoulder. He's also a young man. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So he has that aspect to him too. And you see
and he's funny,
cool.
bro. He's funny too.
That's what I'm trying to say. He is funny, man. He's funny. I don't think I've laughed so much on one of these episodes other than the ones I did with him.
Dude, and I mean, it's always Wyoming, bro. When he was bringing up, but the first time after Wyoming.
See, that's the thing too, bro. He was bringing things out of me that I was like, oh goodness, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he's gonna come up with his own podcast name that him and like Key are gonna do,
Mm.
But hopefully he could carry the torch on that you got. had here too.
Hopefully.
I think he'll do a good job though, because like he said, he can bring it out of you a little bit
He
too.
can. He for sure can, dude. But that's just the type of energy he has, bro. That the impact. I think he really does bring out the best out of everybody. Out of anybody. And so, that's awesome, bro. I'm excited to see their podcast.
Dude, it's gonna be different than this one, bro.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be different than any podcast out
I was
there.
gonna say, there's not gonna be one like it, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for y'all to see this.
Dude, in fact, he's wearing number 1. Keelan's wearing number 1. And their podcast is gonna be 1 of 1. Like
oh wow.
that could be a name.
Wow.
1 of 1. Like
that's kind of best. Wait, Trey changed his number?
Yeah, Trey's wearing number 1. Keelan's wearing number 1.
Wow.
24-17, both those numbers are gone.
Wow.
Number 1 on O, number 1 on D, and it's those two.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, those two.
That's dope, man. I like that a lot.
I'm not saying that's the name.
1.
I'm not saying that's the name, but I'm like, as we're sitting here, I was about to say that podcast is going to be 1 of 1. I'm like,
Literally.
actually, that might be a good name for that podcast because they're both wearing number 1.
Yeah, I like it. You're going to have to relay that to them.
Yeah.
For sure.
If I can pin those two jokers down, bro.
I was going to say. Oh, man. Great guys, bro.
Yeah.
Great dudes. So, yeah. I think Trey's definitely up there for me.
Yeah.
You
know who the underappreciated guest is?
Who?
Mark Collins.
Yes.
Because Mark is a little quieter.
Yep.
And it's not as natural for him to like come on and do this, but he was a great guest.
He really was. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I want to say he honestly left like an impact kind of like Gary did.
Yes.
Right? Like a very real, genuine person and conversation that we had.
Yeah.
Which I really did appreciate, bro. And Mark, he's one of those guys that you're right. He does like to keep to himself.
Yeah.
Right. And so just honestly, the mere fact that he came on the episode in general was pretty damn cool.
And I don't know if it was on the air or off the air that he was like, hey, thank you for inviting me. That's not something I like naturally like would do or whatever like that, but it's always something I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely. He did say that, I remember, yeah.
And so that was cool that he came on and he did that. And he dropped nuggets like Gary and was super. And everyone we've had on here, and I think that's you. That goes to you and the vibe you set on your podcast. Everyone who comes on here is super authentic and genuine because they've had conversations with you in the past and they know the kind of conversations you have with people.
Yeah.
So that's props to you, man.
Well, I appreciate that, bro. I mean, shoot, it's the realest, man. You know what I'm saying? There's it's kind of like an environment where I want people to come on and feel comfortable in the space that they can really say how they feel, really share their beliefs.
Yeah.
Right. And it's all be part of just a cool conversation, cool casual conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I do appreciate you saying that, Jake. Real, bro. And that's exactly what I was trying to incorporate within this podcast, man. So yeah, Mark definitely was a slept on guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Mark. I always have. Yeah, that dude is a baller too.
Holy cow.
Honestly,
he was cold this year.
Actually, that's a good one, man. That's a good one. So, out of all the guests, athletes that we had on the podcast, this might be a little controversial.
Okay.
But you all are gonna have to answer this. Craig, you're gonna have to answer this too. Who is the most, how do I say this? The best baller in your guys' eyes that we've had.
That is tough.
Episode.
That is tough.
It's a very hard question, huh? I think they're all ballers. Let's
I know that's why it's tough.
Let's get that out the way. They're all badass.
That's why it's tough. I mean, look at what they did this year or have done.
Look at what all of them have.
Gary's won a Sugar Bowl, MVP of a Sugar Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a very few people right there.
As a starting quarterback.
As a starting quarterback, wins the Big 12 championship, wins a Sugar Bowl. It's like, oh, okay, well, that puts you in rarefied air right out the gates.
I've seen all these people firsthand on the field, training.
Yeah.
Summer, fall, winter, in season. So,
dude, Mark probably had the best season of any corner in the Big 12 you maybe have conversations about some other guys, but he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah, he has to be.
What he
Has to
did to
be.
the receivers he went against, man.
Yeah.
Trey this is a controversial take for you. Trey might have the highest ceiling out of anyone who came on here. He's just a young guy getting started, but like his frame,
Yeah.
his ball knowledge, he was like raised by a coach. He's got really high football IQ. Because Trey and I have we've watched games before and like cut it up, and I'm telling you, that guy, like
He's a smart kid,
I
bro.
coach high school football. I know it's high school, not college, but bro, trust me, like we're pros, college, we're
Yeah.
all clinics, we're all talking ball together.
Yeah.
That kid knows football, man. He knows at a very high level. He was calling SMU's plays before they happened in the game we watched, dude. That's a true story.
That's crazy.
He's like big tight end.
As a freshman too.
He's a freshman.
Let's just say I wasn't doing that as a freshman.
Dude, SMU is early in the season too, because this was
It was
before
the second game.
this was
wasn't it?
before you played SMU. This was
Yeah.
SMU Nevada. We
Yeah.
watched it together, and he was calling plays, and he was like 90% accurate. Like I'm just telling you. So I know that's a kind of a big bold take. I think Trey has the highest ceiling,
Right.
and that's really big comparing to Glasgow, who's probably first team All Big 12
I was
next
just about
year.
to say, yeah. Especially in this defense.
Man,
It's hard to say. So you're going with Trey.
dude, I don't know who to pick. I'll be controversial. I'll pick Trey based off
I like
his
that.
based off
Okay.
his ceiling.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll stand by that
That's cool.
because I've been very impressed the more and more I get to know him.
Yeah, no doubt. That's awesome. Greg?
I love like just watching. Some guys just stand out. Like I love watching Glasgow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going everywhere around the field, big hits. Like catches my eye. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yep. So Glasgow's your pick, huh?
Yes.
I like
Dude.
that.
Big frame and a just
Yeah.
crazy motor.
Yep.
Covers so much ground,
He does. And he's fast.
dude.
He's fast, bro. And he's tall. Yeah, man. Glasgow is a freaking baller, bro. He's badass. I'll give it to him. But shoot, we've been knowing that. We've been knowing that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
I think we were the first probably two guys that really hype him up before this season. To be like, hey, Tooley's awesome and he deserves to be in the NFL. He deserves all the things
Yeah.
he's coming. Glasgow's gonna ball.
Just wait till you see.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. These are very interesting. Honestly, I'm gonna say Mark, dude.
It's a good pick.
Mark, that guy. The thing is, bro, is I'm in the boundary with him, and the things that I seen this guy do, like that nobody sees, right? Because I'm dropping in coverage. I'm seeing him absolutely bully a receiver, like clamps, bro. You know what I'm saying? As I'm dropping into my hook curl drop or something like that, or he's always communicating. Him and I are always on the same page. So maybe it might be a little biased, but honestly,
Dude, no, it's not.
no, it's not. This guy, and plus this guy saved my ass quite a few times. Like if you know football and like you watch some of our games stuff like that, you'll see
Just
that
carrying
he's just right there.
carrying longer before he goes to the flats for
Yeah.
you. Like just little things like that.
Little things, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
Because we just know each other, bro. I know that he's gonna sit there for a little while, so I can kind of push a little bit more with the
Mess
swing
up that
route,
timing.
or something.
Yeah.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Or mess with the
Use-
reads of the quarterback.
Use your athleticism. Use your physicality. Use your strength because you know, hey,
Exactly.
he knows how I play,
Exactly.
and he's gonna use his strength. Like it's just this perfect, I don't know, teamwork.
Absolutely, bro. And that's the thing is just I've always respected him for it, and I feel like it's always been like a mutual sense of respect
Mm-hmm.
and teamwork, bro. So just in that regard, and plus, guy's just filthy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just filthy, bro. So yeah,
I
I'll
think
give
we've
it to
talked
Mark.
about it, but like, man, there's a play where he gets up and he's gonna press Travis Hunter in the bowl game,
Mm,
and then he opens his hips and shows like, hey, it's gonna be a cover 3 kind of look.
yeah.
And then so he changes his release and he gets right back up and presses him
Right
again.
up impressive. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, and then like the QB Shadur is like, what? Wait, what? Like neither one of them know
Yeah.
what's going on because he's so crafty, dude.
Mm-hmm. So crazy, bro. Yeah, badass, man. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So that was for sure my favorite guest, man. Um, yeah. I think that in the future we'll have a lot of different guests too. I'm excited to see how this next season goes, man.
Yeah.
Because the more people we know, the more people that see this and like, man, this is sick. Like, we want to be a part of this. We're gonna have a lot of great guests coming on this podcast for y'all, and honestly, just for us too.
Yes.
With every single person that we've had on here, I've been able to take something and truly apply it in my own life, and it's been awesome. It's been so cool, even like just in all types of phases. With my faith, football, personal life, physically, mentally, all these things, man. It's been so beneficial. Even like some things, especially when you drop a little bit of knowledge,
Oh.
right? Like, your emotional intelligence stuff and stuff like that, bro. Like, it's badass. And so, with that being said, what is one thing that you've learned on this podcast that you applied in your own life, or find so much like some importance to? I guess.
So it's funny. You mentioned emotional intelligence. When Gary was on and he was talking about going through his injury, and he was like talking about being with your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
like not like suppressing them, not being them, like letting them kind of experiencing them,
Yeah.
be with your
Acknowledge
emotions.
them, feel them,
Yeah.
and then process them.
At that time when Gary came on, I had just finished my emotional intelligence certification, and I was working on finalizing, I've been working on it for months, but finalizing my presentation that I was going to give. And it really clicked with me, even though it's in the emotional intelligence thing, it really clicked with me when he was sharing his personal example of it, how that looks or how that works. Because I've always thought, oh, I've got great emotional intelligence because I can be in a high stress situation and I can lock in.
Sure.
I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling nervous, but I'll block all that out
And
just lock in. And like there's some utility to that, but I think a better thing to do, and this is kind of what Gary was getting at, a better thing to do is be like, hey, I'm feeling kind of anxious right now. This is a big moment. I'm also feeling a little bit excited.
Yeah.
And because there's not a lot, even though it's a big moment, it's also a big opportunity. Like, but not necessarily like blocking those emotions out, kind of labeling them and feeling them.
Yeah. Giving them a name.
Yep. And then going with them. So that's something like that Gary really drove home for me in his delivery. That's why I think he was such a good guest.
Yeah. Honestly, that's super cool that you brought that up, man. Cause I totally agree. There's a lot of things that he said that I took for myself, but that just that aspect, bro. I kind of I know we were talking about the injury aspect of it, but you can apply that to anything. You can apply it to literally anything.
Relationships,
Relationships,
business.
yes, yes, even just personal things that you're going through, man. Like, it's so important. That's one thing that I've been honestly learning for myself, is just to, like, in order to really grow and to really change, it's important to feel those things, feel those emotions, and acknowledge them, process them, and respond to them. And I think that so many people honestly do try. I think they do try, but it's the way that people respond to them that it doesn't help, right?
Right.
And then you get stuck in like a cycle,
Yeah.
right? Because you can do all these things, but if you don't if you don't intentionally respond and change in a positive way and take a positive perspective, it's not gonna work.
Right.
And I feel like in the case of an injury, honestly, there's a lot of cool things that I've heard with people with injuries. Like, especially just the way you self talk, all this stuff. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Um, Yeah, I'm not gonna name them out, but there's one specific podcast that I listen to, and it's really cool because they bring on like some scientists, some psych psychologists, all types of people, man, professors. And a while ago, I remember one thing that they were talking about is just how much self talk can actually heal you when it
Yeah.
comes to injuries, emotionally too, emotional injury or mental injuries, but more so physical injuries.
Yeah.
And when they're going through it, the whole process of it all, that's what the majority of a lot of things came down to. You know, is like choosing to be positive about it, choosing to believe in, your emotions being emotions and feeling what you're feeling, but not allowing that to be the end
Mm.
goal and the end part of it, right? And there's a whole other part of it, but
Well, every time you feel an emotion, your body's creating a chemical
yeah,
that helps you feel that emotion. So
yeah,
we all know we have this biochemical machine.
yeah,
So what chemicals your body's creating and using can be good or bad for you,
yeah.
or probably indifferent as well. But like, so there's real science behind all that.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy too, cause like your body can literally get addicted to those
Mm-hmm.
emotions, and uh, even depression, fear, sadness. Those are all emotions that you can for sure get addicted
Dude,
to.
you know, I think the number one emotion people are addicted to on social media.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, we could say like envy, I guess, but that's not the one I was thinking of. It's got to be up there as righteous indignation. Like, oh, how
Wow.
dare they?
Yeah.
Who is this person? Like, oh,
Yeah.
what? Like this is this, and it's just like this chemical response of like, oh, and then they're like, you know what? I'm gonna go say something.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, if you've been through the comments,
Oh yeah.
you,
Trust me, I have.
if you've been through the comments,
I
bro,
have.
you could read it. Like, and I think there's people who just like they get done from work, it's that time of day, or it's their break, or it's at night, late at night, and they're like, I'm gonna hop on the internet and see what's wrong with everything
Yeah.
and try and make it right.
Isn't
And
that crazy,
and
dude?
it's like, bro, you are addicted to a corrosive chemical.
Yes, absolutely. Social media is so interesting to me, and you're right. It totally manipulates those biological um those biological concepts
Mm-hmm.
and, well, the addictions that we're talking about, and they utilize it in a whole algorithm.
Oh,
Like there's a
oh,
whole
they
algorithm
know, bro.
surrounded
Well,
around what your body can release.
I bet you could go work with the algorithm. This is great for some, person out there doing their graduate work. I bet you could go look at the algorithm because the algorithm knows what you like,
Yes.
what Isaiah likes, what Craig likes, what Jake likes. It knows.
Yep.
So I bet you could go look at the algorithm and it's pushing you certain things because it knows, hey, they're going to like this. They're going to watch this longer.
Yep.
They're going to do this. I bet you could figure out based on people's tailored algorithms what kind of chemicals they're addicted to on social media. Like you could look at what kind of content it sends you and you could figure out, I bet if we test this person while they're on Instagram, they're going to have this chemical present because they're going to be feeling these emotions. That I don't know. I mean, that's totally way out there,
No,
but I
I
bet you
think
could
that's
do that.
valid. 100%. It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be valid. I mean, you're right, because they really do pertain it to exactly what you're interested in
Yeah.
and that feeling that you get, right? You're not just simply, oh, this is cool. Nah, it's deeper than that. And they made a business out of it.
Oh, they made a business out of it.
Man, that's the thing. Sometimes I try to manipulate the algorithm.
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of times I'll get, honestly, just my whole timeline is just very similar things.
Mm-hmm.
And especially lately, man, um, a lot of stuff I've been paying attention to are like motivational quotes, podcasts, stuff like that. And literally, the only thing that I'll see on my timeline, podcasts, motivational pages, all these things. And don't get me wrong, it's cool.
Yeah.
And I appreciate it, but um, when that type of stuff happens, I like to switch it up. And so
Mm.
just to see what they'll do. And like the same thing happened a few weeks back, and it was more so videos of football
Yeah.
and college football specifically. I was like, all right, let's switch it up. And so I started searching up financial firms just on my Instagram, bro. And then I would even like a few pictures from like Allianz or even Common Sense Financial,
Right.
right? And guess what happened?
See
Now
a lot
there's
more of it.
all economics, finances, all podcasts on people trying to fix your credit, all this stuff, yada yada. Isn't that insane?
Oh yeah.
And I was literally just trying to manipulate them. I mean, I was interested, but
Dude, I was given a I don't know if I was given a talk in church or anyway. I looked up church talks and I listened to it on my way to work. This was back when I was teaching school. Then the next day, I get a notification as I'm pulling on my driveway. Hey, there's this church talk from conference on YouTube. You should watch it. Yeah, I should watch it. I liked watching the other one. It's set a nice tone for my day. Dude, before you know it, every morning I get in the car, I either get a notification or eventually you don't even need the notification. You just like open up your phone and you're like, hey, what's the latest church talk? And it knows what you're on there to look for at
it does
6:45 a.m. when you're headed to work. So you open up your YouTube and right there, the top recommended video is the next talk that you probably would have, if you scrolled through, would have picked.
Yeah.
Like, hey, make it easy for you. Right
Literally,
there.
huh?
And then, I did start building out these presentations that I've been training on and things like that. And I take clip YouTube videos and things, podcasts and things.
Yeah.
Now I do still see some church content every now and then, but it knew like, oh, he wants this now. And now when I log on, the very first thing are all these same kind of things you're talking about.
Yeah.
In fact, driving back from St. George today down to the hat ceremony for Brock, guy in the car, and there's a video of a guy who does NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, or hypnotherapy on how to improve it. And I was like, dang, for YouTube, you're right. I do want to watch this.
I'm very interested.
You know me, bro.
Dude, that's crazy. Said there's an episode on this one podcast I'm about to watch tomorrow about hypnotherapy.
Yeah,
so like that. I think that's so interesting. But dang, yeah,
it comes full circle with emotional intelligence, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is so.
That's kind of what I heard, honestly. Because I did look into it a little bit earlier on, but how about Apple Maps? On my way here, actually, before I even left,
he's like, "Hey,
a notification.
It's this many minutes to."
Yeah, it's like, whatever to.
That's freaky.
The studio.
Yep.
And I was like, man, are you kidding me?
It knows.
Are you kidding me? And then on my way back, when I'm about to leave, this many minutes to home.
Yep.
Like, wow, you guys are stalking me. You guys are stalking me. It makes me feel funny.
Dude, it stalks your rhythm. Happened to you too, Craig? Apple Maps knows where you're headed?
I don't think so on Apple Maps.
Oh, he's still got the AI guessing. Yeah, he's still clean.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Same thing happens to me. It'll be like, it's this many minutes to Walmart. Oh, I go to Walmart like 3 times a month. How'd you know I'm going to Walmart?
Right? Yeah, seriously.
Like, it knows. Like,
knows.
They're out of milk and eggs again, so I'm gonna give them the Walmart thing. Like, what the heck?
What kind of calculations do you think, like, their algorithms do? Like, they're like, all right, I'm looking at his bank account. He just paid for 2 gallons of milk.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of how their consumption rate of milk, it'll take roughly a few days to go through it, or a couple weeks to go through it, let's say.
Yeah.
And I am estimating that Jake will want to go to Walmart and get more milk.
Yeah.
In a week. And then guess what happens?
You hop in the car and it knows.
Hop in the car to go get milk and it knows.
Dude, we should get my baby bro on here one time, the one who does marketing. And he was telling me one time, I was like kind of baffled about the Amazon algorithm. Because it was telling me I needed stuff, and I'm like, dude, it's listening to me. There's no way it could know that. He's like, look, let me tell you this. You buy a Fire Stick. Okay? It knows they just got a Fire Stick. 70% of Fire Stick owners lose their remote within the first 24 months. 18 months from now, we're going to ship the replacement remote from Seattle to Salt Lake so it's ready to do 1 or 2 day shipping for them because there's a 70% chance they're going to need it in that time frame. So before you even know your remote is lost, it knows you're going to lose your remote in this time frame, and and now there's more warehouses, but this was years ago when there wasn't as many.
Right.
It would pre-ship stuff to be closer to you, knowing that you would more than likely, odds are you're going to need this.
Right.
And then, dude, because I got freaked out a few times, I went on to buy something and it's recommending, hey, you want to buy this? I'm like, I've never searched that on Amazon in my life.
Bro, me too.
How do you know that?
Uh-huh.
And my brother's like, dude, they know based on you buying this, and this, or searching this, and this, that you're also probably going to need this at this time.
Yes.
I'm like, how would it know that? He's like, dude, it knows.
It knows.
They're not listening
and
to
it's
you.
It's getting better at this point.
Yeah. He's like, it's not listening to you. It's just guessing your future behavior based off your past behavior. So
it's literally creating the matrix. And you know what's even more crazy? The algorithm like manipulates things that most people don't even understand. Like your chakra.
Go with this.
Energy levels. Like, so there's one chakra level. It's more so in like your lower abdomen area. And it's red.
Okay.
The color is red. And that chakra place in your body, I'm pretty sure this is what it is. I would have to look it up again. However, actually, Craig, would you mind searching up while I go on this little tandem real quick? What the red chakra?
It's spelled like Chakra if you didn't know, like chakra almost.
Yeah. Anyways, from my knowledge is that it has to do with everything that, like all your desires.
Okay.
All, things that make you feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Where a lot of people's addictions actually come from. And is that satisfying that chakra energy.
Yeah.
If misused, of course. Anyways, there are companies out there who know that and manipulate it. And this is what I'm saying is, for example, what's the best, most impressive, successful soda company that you can think
Coca-Cola.
of? Yeah. What color is it?
Red.
See what I'm saying? What other company, this soda company that's very successful?
Pepsi,
yeah. It does have red in it. Dr. Pepper.
Oh,
it's also red.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
It's a darker red.
And then if you even think about a lot of other things, man, like it gets even further than that. Like Costco.
Red.
You know what I'm saying? I know
Target.
You go to Costco for other things, but Target, it's you're indulging. You see what I'm saying? It's you're indulging. And these companies know that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And even if you really want to get even deeper into it, satanic rituals utilize red lights and not red light therapy, but more so like just red colored things within their environments and their parties or whatever.
Yeah.
To I guess manipulate that part of your body. And that's when,
hey, you're gonna get satisfaction from this.
Yeah.
We're gonna indulge in this.
Satisfy off of these things, bro. It's crazy. And then you get once you realize that like this feels good, I really do like this. Now you're stuck on it, and now they're making a profit off you.
Yeah,
now you can never.
They didn't have to put
leave.
nicotine in it.
Nope.
They just biohacks you with the coloring and things like that. It was the same. It's like putting nicotine in it. Do you find anything, Craig?
So you asked about the red chakra?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it says it's associated with grounding, survival, and a sense of security and belonging.
Okay. It kind of ties into it.
Survival, though, you got indulge in your survival need.
Yeah.
Got satisfied.
I mean, there's ways you can go with it.
Yeah.
From the podcasts, was plural that I was listening to, they described it as more so like indulging and stuff like that. But I mean, shoot, it makes sense. Isn't that crazy though?
Yeah.
Like businesses notice.
Yeah.
About not even just human nature, but spirituality.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, you see stuff like that all the time in these different businesses. Like, and then, dude, I don't know enough about chakras to like have an in-depth conversation.
It's okay. I don't
But
really know that much either,
dude,
but
I
I do know that.
like going back for thousands and thousands of years. You go back to the Egyptians, you go back to everybody. Pretty much everyone's speaking the same astronomy language.
Yeah.
Like the same kind of, I mean, it changes from north hemisphere to southern hemisphere, but the same constellations have the same kind of names all over the globe, like Asia, Europe, United States. Like they all have similar things,
Mm.
right? You can do that. It's like all across the globe, like all
Oh,
this
okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think that people do understand there's like this universal kind of, what do you want to say, cosmic, whatever you want to say, kind of language or understanding there. And I think you
Yeah.
can be new age and even be like a Christian and you can label that all like that's all pagan, like that's all bad.
Sure.
But I don't know, man. I think they're, even going back to times of Adam and Eve and all that stuff, I think there was still, those things were more prevalent in those beliefs in churches maybe than we know. And you go back and read Genesis, it talks about putting signs in the heavens, signs in these things, like they'll know by this. And then the Jews had their feast calendars, which were based off astronomy in the heavens. And it's not just like when to plant crops and when to harvest. Like it's
Right.
much deeper than that.
Right.
And then if you look at all these ancient markers like Stonehenge, the Serpent Mound in America, all these
Yeah.
things, they almost all line up with equinoxes.
Yeah.
Chichen Itza, I've been to Chichen Itza stuff, same thing there too.
Why does it sound familiar?
Like Chichen Itza is the temple of Kukulkan that has the snake on the side that only appears on, I believe it's the spring equinox. You can see the snake shadow go down the pyramid with the sun going down.
Interesting.
And like, so it was carved, it was built perfectly aligned with all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, dude, I think this, and our temples, bro, our temples today, I mean, walk around the Salt Lake Temple and look at the astrological symbols and markers on there. It's a way for you to understand and know your place in the universe.
Yeah.
Why God put you here, what your purpose is, what your plan is. You go to the temple to make covenants and like discover and know and stay on track with your course and your place in the universe. Like there's this whole thing. And, a lot of times it's like, nah, dude, just like live the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Go to church. And we just kind of ignore it. But I think there's more there that like a lot of mainstream people don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
So do you, I guess, essentially believe in, I know we kind of touched on this in the past earlier on, but do you believe in like horoscopes? Stuff like that?
For the exact reason I was just telling you, I think there's some truth to this stuff. I do. They've like talked about like, Joseph Smith was born at this time and this was going on and this, and which is right around the winter solstice, right? Like Joseph Smith was born around then. Like, what happens winter solstice? It's basically its darkest point. More light comes into the world after that. It's interesting. Joseph Smith, who brought the Book of Mormon, was key to restoring the church and the priesthood. And also that Jesus Christ used him to do that. Heavenly Father used him to do that. Oh, he was born in the winter solstice. Like when you celebrate new light coming into the world, like you celebrate that darkness is over, a new light is coming. So
there's
dude,
no such thing as
don't
coincidence.
know. I know. I don't know. But I've heard like church people to talk about that. Like that's significant.
Yeah.
So this is something you probably got to bring like Scott or Casey or some of those guys on to talk about. But like, in my humble opinion, I think there's something to all this. I don't know where you draw the lines. Like, when does this become witchcraft? And when does this become, you know what I'm saying? And when does this become like just knowledge of how our Heavenly Father put the stars in the sky?
I think it's when it starts to get manipulated. Because, I mean, shoot, bro, there's a period of time where I had this one app and it was based off my horoscope.
Okay.
And it would tell me certain things, just what I'm going through or like what my day looked like and stuff like that. And even they'd give me what this month would look like for me, what this year would look like for me, what these next few years would look like for me. And I would be lying if I said a lot of it wasn't accurate.
Yeah.
I'm not saying everything was accurate, but the majority of stuff it did say, I mean, shoot, in one way or another, it did happen. But at the same time, I mean, shoot, when you read that stuff and you go about your day, you start looking for certain things.
Yeah, and there's a part of your
Right.
brain
And
that's
you get
wired for this
influenced.
too.
Yeah.
Have I talked to you about priming before, where they hand the people the hot coffee and the cold coffee?
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
I definitely heard that story
So quick
before,
stories, like they do a study, they get these people, they basically trick them into holding hot coffee or cold coffee as they come out of this campus area. Then they walk another like 20, 30 feet, have them read a story. It's the same exact story for people who held both hot and cold coffee. And at the end, they ask them, how would you describe the main character? And almost all the people who had the hot coffee would describe them as warm and genuine. And almost all the people who held the cold coffee would describe them as like cold and indifferent. It's the same person. They read the same story, but they were primed unknowingly to feel a certain way about a character in the story based off what coffee they were handed. So I do think like you got to be a little bit careful. Like you read this and then you go and your brain is like looking for it to make it right.
Yes.
So there's part of that too.
Absolutely.
But then there's other stuff where you're like, nah, bro. Like
there's no way, right?
Yeah.
But dude, 100%. Even thinking back on it, bro, I'm not giving it. Look, I'm not saying everything happens from my horoscope. I'm not saying that. I'm not giving it that much power. But it said a lot of things that in the phase of my life that I was in.
Yeah.
Up until literally this point, it said a lot of things. And I remember I first saw it in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020 during COVID. That's why I downloaded, because I was bored, right? But it said for the next 5 years, this is what it's gonna look like, and this is what the chapter of your life is gonna look like, and then you'll get into this new chapter of all these different things. But this is what it's gonna look like right now, and whatever. I kind of read more into it and everything, and there were some things in it that were very, very true.
You know,
It's
also,
crazy.
I mean, this is very different. I don't want anyone to confuse this as me saying this is the same. But I have noticed with my patriarchal blessing, there have been some things that have, like, there are some things in there like, oh, you could say that to anybody.
Sure.
Some other things like, there's no way you could have known that.
Mm-hmm.
There is zero way. And there's zero way I could have known that when I was 8, because I got mine when I was 18, or 19. I was getting to go on my mission. There's zero way I could have known that was going to happen 10 years later.
Yeah.
Zero.
Isn't
Right?
that crazy, bro? I think the same thing with mine, bro. I was reading it the other day. I was like, oh my gosh. I haven't read it in a long time.
I read mine earlier this week.
Isn't it crazy?
Mm-hmm.
And I was sitting there, bro, just reading. I was like, oh my gosh. I got this when I was like 13, 12. Yeah. And like, how is anybody supposed to know?
Yeah.
Right? And even like, yeah, crazy. It's just crazy, man. So those type of things just really kind of trip me out sometimes, bro. Like the predicting aspect of, well, it's not prediction, it's literally written for you. But
yeah,
I mean, in the time being, when you first originally see these things or learn about these things, kind of like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I can see that. And when you really go through it and look back on it, like, well, that information was real.
Yeah. And dude, just like, you know, we have spiritual gifts in the gospel and stuff. I wonder if there's people who aren't members of the church who have like that same spiritual gift, but it's not like necessarily founded in like.
There are.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's
sure
people who have different gifts. And I mean, everyone on the planet, Heavenly Father gave everybody some different gifts.
Right.
And things. And so dude, I don't know, man. I think that's why you have to have the Holy Ghost, bro.
Yeah.
Because you could seriously get anything from anybody, anywhere. That's why you have to have prophets, man. That's why you have to have apostles. That's why you have to have the spirit of revelation. Like, remember President Nelson talked about in like 2018, 2019, that like without the spirit of revelation, like people will not survive like the coming days or something like that. And you're like, well, that's why, dude. Because like there's so many rabbit holes and so many things you go down. And I think the reason they're so compelling and interesting is because some of it's true in all of it.
Yeah.
Like there's elements of truth in all of that.
Absolutely.
And so that's a good lie is got a bunch of truth tied to it.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
So I do think there's truth in all of those. And it's like super hard at times to like delineate like what is what.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. and like all the conspiracy theories and
Oh yeah.
all these things. You're totally right. You're totally right. I couldn't agree anymore. So,
Craig, you're getting your patriarchal blessing soon, right?
Yep.
Do you have a date yet?
Yeah, I think it's May 4th.
He's got a schedule, dude. He's got it coming up.
that's
Also,
awesome.
Speaking on kind of superstition, kind of those things,
Yeah.
I will say I got a fortune cookie back in 2021 that said my sports teams were going to do excellent that season. And my sports teams had not done excellent for years. And then all of a sudden, BYU's like beating Utah. I guess they were good in 2020, but everybody else was bad.
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't know how much I believe it, but that was awesome.
You nailed it for
There
you,
go,
bro.
Yeah.
Nailed it for you. And then that
That's
hoops
cool.
team was kind of cold too, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
Dang.
funny.
Fortune cookies are so funny to me, bro. So, bro, my agent is so funny. I love the guy. We were at him and I and one of his other clients. His name's Ludo. I love that guy too, man. But we're sitting there at dinner, Chinese restaurant. Great food, great time, kicking it together, and then the server comes out with fortune cookies. I was like, oh, cool, yeah, and so I was like, hey guys, like you gotta eat the whole cookie before you eat it, or else it won't come true, right? And then everyone's like, yeah, and then as I'm eating my cookie, out of left field, my agent goes, you know what's kind of funny? Every every reading that you can get out of a fortune cookie, you can finish with in bed. You know what I'm saying? Like literally everything it says in the fortune cookie, you can finish with in bed at the end of it, and it'll always work. It'll always work. And I was crying, laughing because I read mine, and sure enough, it worked. So obviously we want to keep it PG, right? But if you ever go and get a fortune cookie, just try it, just one time. Just try it. It'll give you a little giggle, give you a little chuckle.
They used to play a game like this on my mission with the hymn book.
Oh no!
Yeah, we're not gonna even go there, bro.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I've never even thought.
Yeah, like people will like do that. They like so like once they get going, and like you say there, you're trying to like focus on like some like mission conference. Someone's like elbows you and like points to the name of a hymn. And they're like, yeah. You're like, bro, stop, please stop. Like I'm trying to feel the spirit. I'm trying to get inspired.
Come on, man, have some reverence.
If I get inspired, people might get baptized. If I'm over here laughing at your hymn book jokes, you know, then
it's over.
It's over for them, bro. Come on now.
Oh, that is hilarious, man.
So don't do that. Do not do that.
Next time I see him, I'm gonna think of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've heard like, you know, you add like yours, or you can add like in the bathtub or in the whatever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, guys, that's all.
Like, come on now.
Let's not go there.
Or a funny one too is coverages in football.
Cover 2 in bed. Wait, so what are you talking about?
Just think about it, bro.
0 coverage.
See what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's funny, bro.
2-man under, huh?
3 deep.
3 deep. Wow.
I'm telling you, bro.
Wow, those freaking D coordinators in the
Those
day,
D
man.
coordinators, bro.
You cannot trust
Sickos, man.
Bunch of sickos. Smash concept now, like going to the offensive side over here.
Gosh.
Mesh, smash,
Smash.
post wheel.
Oh, brother.
4 verts.
Oh. Yeah,
Okay,
that's the
wow.
favorite one for sure. Air. Talk about air raid.
Yeah.
Man, that's funny.
Oh.
But yeah, actually, we went on a little tandem there.
Yeah, we sure did.
Huh.
Yeah, we sure did.
See, that's why I love this podcast too, bro. That's exactly what we do, man. But if I'm not mistaken, we were on what we've learned.
Yeah.
what we've learned from. This one's kind of interesting because I'm not even gonna say what I learned from anybody else. Really, it was. I remember I was sitting here talking to Glasker
Mm.
about a perspective that I was thinking of, and it's something that I kind of. I don't want to say like I lost sight of. In fact, I think I started doing it more so just um unconsciously,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just but I remember the first episode that we had, I was telling them kind of about how a lot of times how I deal with not just negative people, but issues, problems.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody does something, how do you forgive, you know what I'm saying? Or how do you go about responding to it? And it's seeing people like their children, like little babies,
Mm.
right? And I feel like having that perspective is essentially putting you in Heavenly Father's perspective. Why he's so forgiving, why he like cares so much for you and loves you no matter how. Cause dude, like the more go out into the world and see a lot of things, see the way that people are and the decisions that they make, he still continues to love and provide for these individuals
Yeah.
consistently and forgives them, even though they sit here sometimes and curse him.
Yeah. Oh
They'll
yeah.
curse him, man. Like go the complete opposite direction, but he
Mm-hmm.
still is out there with a giving hand. And so that's one thing I've been kind of just being more uh, intentional about in seeing, not just for myself in the way that I interact with some people and handle certain uh, issues and stuff like that, but also just seeing the way that he looks at everybody,
Yeah.
from all ages, no matter what they do, good or bad, he still sees them in that perspective. And so, I mean, the truth that we are his children, right? But
Yeah. There was a really interesting talk and conference. I'm gonna forget her name, but she was assigned to be mission president, work as a mission president's wife. I don't even call that calling, but it was calling. And she was there in Australia, and she was
mm,
talking about your self worth, and your self worth is you're a child of God,
yeah,
and that doesn't change based on what you do or don't do.
yeah,
Right? That can other things can change, but your self worth is always how high you are because no matter what, you're like child of God, like you're talking about. And
yeah,
so sometimes we'd like to base our self worth on how well we're doing things in the
a lot of
moment,
things.
if we're being successful, if we're whatever, if people like us, if people don't approve of us, this. But really, everyone's self worth here is they're all the child of God.
Yeah,
It's like worth is different than worthiness.
Worth is different than
Yeah.
worthiness. It's good talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Worth is different than worthiness. Hmm. No, it's very true. It's very true. I feel like it just takes away the whole obligation of things, the whole expecting,
Yeah.
right? Uh, it makes you humble and it gives you that confidence from that humble nature, right? Knowing that it's giving yourself grace too, honestly, and it's giving everybody else grace as well, right? So I really like that. I think that's something that a lot of people know, but once again, you have to act upon it,
Yep.
right? So that's really cool, man. Now, there's been a lot of great stuff that I've been able to take away from this pod.
Yeah.
It's been really great. I'm excited to see what else I'm able to learn, grow with, and grow from on this pod, man. We done a great job.
Dude, I think so. I
Done a
mean,
great job.
especially for our first stab at it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Things have just gotten better and better too.
And it's only up from here, man.
Oh yeah.
It's only up.
Now we got the whole Mac for Kev and Craig and start unlocking some more features and leveling up some things and
Yeah,
this could be nice.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And y'all gonna get a lot more cool. Like I say, people coming through. A lot of good quality content. Uh, so I'm looking forward to it, man. This has been an awesome chapter.
It's been a cool journey, man.
It
Good
has
season.
been. Yep. One last thing
Sure.
that I want to go over from this past season. What was your favorite game and why?
Oh my gosh, dude. That is tough. This is one of the best seasons I've ever been a part of. Like, I mean, there was so many fun games, dude. This is a memory. It's not my favorite game. I'll tell you in a second. But one of my favorite memories was we were here. We had Matthias Leach over. He didn't make the travels cut on it. And we were like, Matthias, come over and watch the game with us, man. And you guys were forcing all these turnovers on SMU. And me and Matthias were freaking out, dude. Like, we were just freaking out.
That's
and
awesome.
Jumping up and down and screaming and yelling and like all this stuff. It was so fun, dude. Like, it was so awesome. But my favorite game, I can remember it forever, man. Because I got a jersey from it. Thank you for that.
Yes, sir, man.
It was a Kansas State game at home.
Yep.
I'm driving to the game. My daughter asked me, she's like, Dad, how many games have you been to at Lavelle Edwards Stadium? Like, I don't know, a lot.
Yeah.
Like, from the time I was born to now, maybe I could count on two hands how many games I've missed at Lavelle Edwards Stadium, right, in my whole life.
Wow.
If you can't take out the mission, right, because I missed them on the
Sure.
mission. But all other ones I missed, basically, I was coaching high school football, and it was a Friday night game, and it just I had to go call offense, or I had to go do whatever. So I was like, oh man, there was this game and that game, and started telling her just kind of the cool games, and she's like, oh, Dad, do you think I'll ever get to go to a game like that? And I was like, heck, tonight could be a game like that. It's on our way to the Kansas State game, you know? And she's like, Dad, I just want a cool memory at a really cool football game like that. Right. And we all know what happened in that game.
We do.
And it was cool I loved it, obviously, but she was really into that game. And she, like, it was even like we were I was showing her the beefy 5-layer burrito stuff from earlier in the day and like all this stuff. And she thought it was hilarious, you know. Had to change the language a little bit, but she thought it was hilarious and stuff. And then we went down, we saw you after, and we saw Trey after, and then Trey made a video telling Kansas State fans to go to Taco Bell, basically.
That's so funny.
And dude, I don't know, that's gonna be my favorite, because it wasn't just for me, it was also like my daughter got to like, and then we were walking after, she's like, Dad, that was definitely one of those games, huh? I'm like, yes, that
absolutely.
was absolutely one of those games, and you were here for it, and that's awesome. So
that is so crazy, man. That was a fun game.
So I'll pick that game for all those reasons, and thank you for that, because man, like, I gotta remember that forever.
Heck yeah, bro. I'm so glad that I got to give it to you, man. That was a great game, great memory, and yeah, I'll remember that forever. That was one of the funnest games I've ever been a part of.
And then everyone kind of knew after that game how legit you were.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, because SMU obviously ended up being a big win.
Yeah.
But like, people like kind of like,
you know,
you beat SMU.
Good
okay.
for you. Like, it happens.
Oh, you got a ranked team coming into Lavelle. Well, ride's over.
Yeah.
You know, all the doubters were like, oh, like, yeah, it was fun, but we're going to get our butts kicked,
Talking
this, and all that stuff, you know. And then like, you and I were like, bro, I don't think you're going to win in that fashion. But I was like, bro, I'm not going to surprise if BYU wins. Yeah. And even if they win a little comfortably, like at the end of the game, because believe in that defense stuff too. And then it was just like, legit. Whooped. Absolutely. Bad.
BTA.
Yes.
You know? Yeah, man, that was crazy, bro. It's not even just what happened in the game. It was everything.
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
The crowd. The scenery. The weather.
Yeah, the weather was great.
The time. Like, everything was just immaculate.
We were walking to the stadium with Kansas State fans who had never been to Utah before and never been to Provo. And they were asking all these questions and all this stuff. And they were like, man, we were early. They're like, we're hours away, and stadium looks pretty full. The parking lots look pretty full like
Oh,
this. I'm
yeah.
like, yeah, this is a real college venue. And then,
Mhm.
man, the weather's beautiful. The mountains are beautiful. Like, they were noticing all these things you were saying too,
Yeah.
and everything. And I was like, well, I'm glad you are enjoying your time here and all this stuff. I didn't get to talk to them after the game.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna
I don't know,
say,
but their fans were actually pretty cool
that's what I heard.
after the game. Like before the game, after the game, the Kansas State, respect to those Kansas State fans, man. They were actually really cool and
That is awesome.
gave you guys props as much as anything too. So respect on them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is awesome. That was for sure one of my favorite memories in Lavelle Edwards. For sure. For me, actually, I'm gonna hold this one. Craig,
Okay.
what was your favorite game, man?
Easily Utah.
Okay. That's a good choice, too.
That is a great choice.
Yeah. I thought about it for like a minute or two. I was like, oh, going through the games. Then Utah. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, winning like that at Utah, like, I mean, we had won the last game against Utah, but besides that, like, I didn't remember beating Utah at all.
Yeah.
And so, like, there's still that. And also, I mean, like, the personal connections that you said, just like what it meant. And, like, that meant a lot. And there were some different things going on for me at that point that were really difficult. And that game was, like, just, like, huge.
Yeah.
Just completely boosted me. It was awesome.
That's so cool, man. It's so crazy the way that BYU football just impacts people.
Yeah.
It's cool that you say that because I remember the following week, every week, me, Talon Alfrey, and a few other guys would just go visit visit a few people in the hospital and stuff like that every Thursday. And the following week, I remember we were walking in there, man. This was tough because we actually went to the what was it? It was the level where it was like terminal
Yeah.
illnesses, stuff like that. I remember, bro, every single person that we visited couldn't stop smiling
Oh,
and
yeah.
talking about the game and how much it meant to them. And I was like, man, like that is impeccable. It truly is a blessing to so many people.
Yeah.
Man, BYU football, and I'm so beyond grateful that I even got the chance to be a part of that, and to put a smile on people's faces that they didn't have many reasons to smile,
Yeah.
or to be in good spirits. Truthfully, it was just one more thing that they could, right? And even the family members of those individuals, I remember also too, like and this wasn't just after Utah game. This was after, honestly, almost all the games, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they would just say that, oh, this whole floor was just screaming and cheering. Everybody had it on their TVs,
Yeah.
all the time, bro. It was so cool. It was so cool and super, super fulfilling and yeah, awesome to see.
Absolutely,
Right.
man.
So that's one thing that I really appreciate about this season, bro. Is just it really showed me just how magical this team, this program, this city, this community really is. It's something that's so different than anything I've ever seen or been a part of.
Dude, I think that's why Coup Connect works.
Mm.
I mean, we're yet to have anyone else sample what we do, but I
Yeah.
don't know if it works at Oregon or Boise or Michigan or
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it does better. I don't know, but the buy-in from the fans, like the connection the fans feel and have with you guys, is like what makes that special. And you've had the opportunity to do a bunch of things and kind
Yeah.
of see that and experience that. But I think that's why Coup Connect works, man. It's like you're talking about, like how much it means to people in that relationship people have with
Yes.
it.
Like it means a lot more than You would think.
Yeah.
To a lot of people, dude, it's so cool to see.
And that's also why
So cool to
Kalani is
see.
the right guy to lead this program, because Kalani gets that.
Yeah.
When the team has been in rough patches, Kalani has said, like, the fans deserve better.
Yeah.
We're not giving it to them. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? The fans aren't working out at practice. The fans, okay, yeah, they're buying tickets, they're showing to
Sure,
the game,
but-
like this, but like he understands what it means to them.
Yeah.
When they were in the losing streak with Utah before one of the games, he was like, the fans deserve a win.
Yep.
They deserve this streak to end, and they deserve a win.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, dude, Kalani, like, he has like empathy for the fans. Like,
Yeah.
that's
Not a lot of head coaches do.
no.
You don't hear a lot of head coaches do.
But he
ever
did
say
grow up on the
anything
other
like
side
that.
of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think him as a kid, like, coming to Provo, being new, like he kind of talked about in his talk, like,
I mean, it was life changing to him, bro.
Yeah.
BYU football was life changing.
so he's been on the other side of that.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's insane. I mean, shoot, even not just for fans though, but like even for like me, bro, life changing.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, Boise State was a lot, and there was a lot of great moments. There's a lot of all these things, but it didn't come close to impacting me the way that the last 2 years have here
Right.
at BYU.
Right.
And so that's why I think it's also just so cool and so fulfilling just to look back on that and be like, wow. Regardless of the good, regardless of the bad, the struggles, the 5 and 7, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of all that, man. Look where I'm at right now, looking back, I wouldn't change it for a world.
No.
This place is really is special. And yeah, bro, I'm just so grateful for it.
Yeah.
So grateful for it.
Now you can nitpick at flaws or different things anywhere or anything,
Yeah,
but there's
absolutely.
so much positive.
Yeah.
Like mountains of positive and mountains
Yes.
of amazing people, and
That's the thing, bro. It's the people.
it's the people.
Right? It's the people. And it's the culture. It's the values. It's everything. It's much more than just football.
It's the whole mission of it too.
Yeah.
Like why BYU exists.
Yeah. Right? And I even remember, bro, I was watching it was one of those pre-general conference devotionals or something like that. And it was that you know how they do their little things where they show what the church is doing around the world, stuff like that. So in one of the segments that they had, they talked about BYU football and the international pathways.
Yeah, the pathway program.
Pathway program.
Yeah.
With Africa.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like I remember when we did it, man, it was so cool just seeing all the face because we had like so many people on the Zoom and just in the big screen, right? Of these pathway students, man. And it was just so cool to see that and just the smile on all their faces and all of them just showing so much love, bro. Like it was incredible. And it was really cool because we got to sit there and connect with them all.
Yeah.
And got to listen to them and some of their stories. And I've never seen anything like it before in my life. It was insane in the best possible way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so anyways, it was just cool because, a lot of stuff happens in the football facility, like, especially at BYU, a lot of things happen, especially with the True Blue Heroes.
Oh
all
my
these things,
gosh.
like, dude, right? And so, like, in the moment, you're like, wow, this is awesome. Like, I'm really appreciating this. And then 30 minutes later, you have to completely change your mindset because you're about to go out and smack helmets with a bunch of 300-pound, 6'7", grown men, right? So
I gotta
it's
flip
like
a switch.
You can't dwell on it,
kill
right?
somebody, yeah.
And so, but it was cool because I sat there and when I was listening to this, it gave me it brought it all back to me. The whole gravity of the situation, what the true purpose of it was, a true impact of that whole thing truthfully was. And man, it was so cool.
Dude, there's a talk.
Cool.
There's a talk that like Elder Holland gave. I think it was like to missionaries in Germany a long, long time ago. It's one of these like famous talks. Someone recorded it. and then like it got circulated around. Like we had to just bounce around our mission all the time. In that talk, Elder Holland talks about how our church has so few symbols, right? Like a lot of churches have crosses or, Virgin Mary, or they have these like symbols.
Yeah.
And he says, we are a church of very few symbols, but the symbols that we have are powerful because they basically embody what like Christ taught. And he's like, and his whole message was like tying it back to missionaries. Like, you are one of the few symbols of the church.
Yeah.
You got your tie on there. You're on bikes. You're wearing a shirt tie. Like
your little name tag.
Yeah, like you're one of the symbols of the church, right?
Yeah.
BYU football in a church of few symbols, it's also one of the more powerful symbols of the church.
Yeah.
And recently I heard someone talking about how college football is incredibly popular in India. Like wildly popular in India, which surprises me.
Surprised me too.
But that they are getting a lot of outreach of people looking into BYU, looking into the church, Googling it, investigating, trying to learn more. Like, right, there's how many people are in India, Greg? You want to look it up? It's over a billion. It's over a billion, right?
Yeah.
So there's a billion people. Can you send enough missionaries to teach a billion people? No, probably not.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you send a powerful symbol of something they're watching anyway? Have them look up the information for themselves, and then
plant that seed,
and they can learn, grow, develop their relationship with Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the power of a symbol versus like a missionary, which is also a symbol, but like,
right, but it's different.
Going door to door like that.
Yeah.
You want to talk about big picture, have an impact, have a saturation effect of your message and your mission.
Yeah.
BYU football is one of those symbols.
It's almost 1.5 billion.
1.5 billion almost people.
Wow.
Yeah. And supposedly college football is very popular there, and BYU and the church is seeing traffic and interest linking back from what you guys did from India to the church. Not necessarily just at BYU, people searching BYU, but people searching the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints because of what you guys did.
That is so cool. So cool, man. What a blessing, huh?
What a blessing.
What a blessing.
So we don't have a cross. We don't have a Virgin Mary.
But we got a big old Y.
We got a big old Y, baby.
We got a big old Y, man. That's so cool. You know what else is really cool about that, too? At least when I think of BYU football, what's the next thing I think of?
Coup Connect?
Coup Connect, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, man.
Dude, it's growing. It's growing. Almost 100 new subscribers. I mean, beginning of this month.
The thing is, man, about Coup Connect, the one thing that I've always really appreciated about it is that it fully aligns with BYU.
Yeah.
And the values within BYU. It's not something that's, for self-gain. It's not something that's rigged or corrupt. Like, Coup Connect, bro, is truthfully an immense amount of support, love, charity, and positivity to not just the players, but to everybody that comes in contact with it, man. And, it's something to really be proud of.
Hey, thank you, man.
You're welcome, brother.
Like, I mean, a lot of people don't know, like, we started that, like, I was a school teacher. I was a football coach. Like, you don't become a school teacher or coach high school football to make money, right? Like,
yeah,
you do it because, I mean, if you are, you're doing it all wrong, but you do it to really try and like help people and give back and do like better, right?
Yeah.
And I think being a teacher for so long gave me that philosophy and perspective, and serving the church too.
Sure.
Of like, you don't do this for money. Like you have much bigger impact than doing it for money. And so I was telling Craig about my taxes before, and how little money, the money I get is writing off losses.
Right.
But on it, so there's always perks. But it is cool, man. And like you said, like I appreciate everything you said. But like people, and just out of respect to people's privacy and their own personal situations,
Right.
it's like we go around like publicizing all of that.
Right.
But we have affected a lot of people's lives
Yeah.
for the better. And
Absolutely.
we're all super proud of that.
100%. And y'all should be, bro. You should be.
Thanks, man.
I mean, for a fact, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Cook Connect. For a fact. And it's changed my life more than I can't even count on my hands and my feet how many times Cook Connect has positively impacted my life, bro. So
yeah.
And positively impacted people who don't even know it too.
Yeah.
That's the craziest thing. So keep it up, man. I know I'll always be in support of what you guys are doing. And I know the listeners are too. So I know Craig is as well.
Craig,
absolutely.
You on board, Craig?
Oh, 100%.
Hell yeah. Bro.
Craig's cool though, because Craig and Kev, they knew me when I was a teacher. I mean, it lined up where Craig,
OGs, man.
Yeah, Kev ends up being an intern for BYU TV and the perfect guy to run the pod and everything, and interning for us. But like they know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've known the genesis of all this, and they know what it was like before and after. So that's cool.
I remember being in class and you asking us to go onto the YouTube and on our Chromebooks and just put on a video so that we could
try and boost the algorithm, man. It's like brand new podcast.
Awesome.
It worked too.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It worked.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
Can't remember what we were trying to boost it for, but yeah, I remember it worked, dude. And we'd like go look at the numbers, and then so it was brand new, man.
Just getting started the
Yeah.
podcast. So. No, that's awesome, bro. All right, my favorite game.
Yes,
It's a tough one, bro. This whole season was just magical, and it's hard to pick one. I thought, here's my honorable mentions
okay.
first. Honorable mentions. Colorado was pretty sick.
Yeah,
just whooping their ass. Truthfully,
it was the exclamation point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like for the whole thing.
Yeah, totally, and really sustained what we knew, what our potential was, and who we were as a team. Baylor game was really fun. Thing is about Baylor for me personally is that I've always been in awe of Baylor. Ever since I started like learning about college football in general, and I don't know why, but it's always just been a program that I've always just like, wow, that'd be so cool to play there.
Yeah.
And, to finally get out there, bro, and be there and have that moment, I was able to really just take it all in and dominate, truthfully.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I feel like I did. And the coolest part about it as well is that we played as a defense. I feel like that's really where we sustained our defensive unit. And we were really like, okay, we're the best in the country.
Yeah.
We're the best defense in the country. Let's go show it. And that's exactly what we did. You know.
It didn't hurt you got that nice sick hit on old Sawyer Robinson.
That was
too.
that too. Bro, I don't think I've ever hit anybody like that. I mean, I've had some good hits, don't get me wrong, but like that.
That was a hit.
And it was clean.
Oh, yeah.
There was nothing dirty about it. It's just unfortunate for him, man.
That is like, I think so many highlights of the season, you kind of almost forget about all these, but like the hit that Batty put on Kevin Jennings at SMU, you did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
To Sawyer Robinson. It was like almost like mirrors of each other. Like, whoa.
It kind of was, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I think about it. That's so fun,
And
man.
yeah,
So fun. And then Crew
sealing
for
it.
that pick for the seal. Yeah. After that game, man, that's where I remember I sat in the locker room and it was like, yeah, this team, this is special. We're gonna
Mhm.
do some crazy things for us this year. And we did. So for sure an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Definitely a great one. Oklahoma State was a big one for me too. Cause I was 0-2 at that point.
That's right.
Lost to them Boise State. Then I lost to them
last year,
which prevented us from going to a bowl game. And so this one was personal, man. This was probably one of the most personal games I've ever played, if I'm being honest. And just to see the way that it ended,
dude,
and to do that with my teammates, and to even like up into that very last point where the defense was on the field, like we were fighting our asses off, man.
Oh yeah,
fighting our asses off. And I just remember that last play, it was to the boundary actually. And it was like 3rd down, 2. It was like 3rd down, right? And I think it was 3rd down. I'm pretty sure it was 3rd down. And so anyways, it was like a little boot play.
Mm-hmm.
And I played it perfectly. I came back and off my shuffle and was pressuring whatever the quarterback's name, Bowman.
Yeah.
And then just threw it in there for the touchdown. I was sick, man. I was like, oh my gosh. There's like a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, 4th quarter. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I remember coming to the sideline. It was the most positive place that I could have been in. Everybody was up. Nobody was sitting down on the benches. Even the guys coming back. I mean, the DBs sat down because they're tired. Right? They've been, but everybody else, bro, is all up. We're all standing. We're all like giving positive affirmations to the offense, saying like, y'all got this, man. We believe in you. We know you guys are going to go out there and handle it. Guys that you don't even think were friends were like praying together. Like I remember I was looking at some guys, there's multiple groups on the sideline taking a knee, praying with each other and stuff like that. And you see guys, young guys, freshmen walking up and down saying like, believe, y'all gotta believe, like taking some real leadership roles, stuff like that. Man, it was awesome to see.
Yeah.
It was so crazy because I've never seen something like that. Because if that was to happen on a lot of other teams,
you'd see
everybody throwing helmets, everybody sitting on the benches, stuff like that. I mean, I've been a part of teams like that. And I just remember sitting there in the moment and just looking around. And all my self-doubt just went out, just left.
Yeah.
Completely. And then I started seeing it in everybody else too. And it was infectious.
Yeah.
It was truly like honestly, like I was in a movie.
Yeah.
Right? And next thing you know, the offense gets rolling, but then it gets like the 4th down or something like that. And then boom, throw it chase, 1st down. The clock's starting to run now, right? And now we're waiting. Hits Darius. And the rest is history, bro.
Little salsa move.
Oh, yeah. And it was just like, dude, everything was just working for him. And it's like it looked like he didn't even try.
It was like effortless.
Right?
Yeah.
And just watching it, I was like, oh my gosh. And then when he scored a touchdown.
Because he shook a dude at all 3 levels.
Yeah. He did.
How
literally.
often does that happen?
And it's like they weren't even trying to tackle him.
Yeah.
It seemed like, right?
Yeah, obviously they were.
But
right.
It's just, you can just tell this dude was meant to go to the end zone, was meant to get into the end zone, man. That's exactly what happened. And so that one, that game was super fulfilling for me, bro, was to end on that note.
Mm-hmm.
And my last time ever playing damn Cowboys.
It's a dub.
We broke their hearts, man.
Literally.
Literally.
They become a meme. You
Yeah.
see the guys like on the sideline?
Bro.
Like literally you guys made a meme of them.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. So that one was really fulfilling for me, man. All right. This might be a hot take,
Let's hear it.
but I think the Arizona game
Oh yeah,
was my favorite.
not a hot take.
It was my favorite for sure. That was the just environment. Everybody's eyes were on us. The pressure was on us,
Especially on the defense.
especially on the defense. Everybody was like, "Oh, I don't know. Y'all never played guys like this."
Yeah.
We'll
We'll have to outscore them, I guess.
We got first round picks so everywhere on the field. You know, the offensive line, receivers, quarterback's badass. He makes all his throws apparently, like all these things. And you know, I remember that whole week going up to it. We're all like, "Man, we finna whoop these fools' ass. We finna whoop them bad. We finna whoop them bad, and we're gonna do it on national television."
Yeah.
Where everybody's gonna watch us, because everybody was watching us. It was the big noon kickoff.
Well, they were. It's big noon, and I still think kind of like the Kansas State. People are like, they haven't really been against this a level of passing attack before.
Yeah.
This, like this, it's like
Absolutely. And then, man, you go out there and we, as a defense, man, we killed him. Like it was bad.
dude, he never got comfortable, man.
Not once.
He's running for his life.
Not once. Even to the last drive when Zay got that pick six, bro. Shoot. I was on his ass.
Yeah.
Three
three on five, too.
3 on 5. And we were just relentless, bro. That's what was so cool to me, is just like how relentless we were and how much we embodied that identity that we wanted to sustain and live with, man, live by. That's exactly what we did. You know,
because a lot of teams, like, you get a lead or you make a big play, and it's almost like,
yeah,
I got some breathing room. Like,
yeah,
I can let off a bit, but not that defense, bro.
No,
the defense just like, I want more blood.
We just wanted to step on your throat and take everything you got. You know what I'm saying? Everything you got.
Yeah, and I do no disrespect to Fafita or
Miller. Oh yeah, no, they're dogs.
Those guys are
badasses
awesome
on their team. For sure. They got some badasses on their team.
But you guys prepped it and executed and played hard the whole game.
Yeah, it was over before it even started.
Yeah.
Honestly, the majority of the games were, in my opinion. But,
dude, it's so interesting because coaches are all the same from the year before, pretty much. One coach is different.
Yeah.
And I think that coach is significant. That change is significant. All the players are pretty much exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like we said, like Aiden and this, but it's like
the majority of us were returning players. And there's a lot of us who could have dipped out of here.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you know, like
almost everybody.
Literally.
And there was people who had offers.
Yeah.
Dude.
There was a lot of people who had offers.
So, but everyone bought in and believed and came back. And then that next year, it was like all those close losses, all those like things. Like, nope, not this year.
Yep. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. And I feel like we all knew that too.
No, you told me in December.
Yeah.
Like we talked about this in December. Like we're on the heels of the loss to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
We talked about this.
And we're like, we know now.
Mm-hmm.
And we coming different. That's exactly what we did, man. Hands down, the best season ever, bro. I do wish that within the defense scheme, I was able to have a little more production.
Mm-hmm.
But, dude, I did my job. And I did it at a high level. And I'll always take pride within that. And, I mean, shoot, if you even watch the film, you'll see it for yourself. But most of all, man, I'm proud of just all my guys.
Yeah.
I'm proud of the way that everybody just stepped up and really grew, really overcame all the odds. And I think that's the most badass thing that I've ever been able to experience and see from a collective group of individuals.
Yeah.
In my whole entire life.
Yeah.
You know? So
it was awesome, man.
Super sick.
And it was this,
wonderful.
Honestly, if you were watching the podcast, you got like the behind the scenes and the front row view. You got kind of both.
Yeah.
Like it was for one of the best seasons ever. Like you got the best access to it all.
Literally. It's so cool. I bet, there's a lot of people out there I know who like to rewatch the games throughout the off season, stuff like that. If I were you, and I was one of those people, I would watch the game, or actually no, watch the episode of the Realist from the previous week. Watch that, then go watch the game following that. Just keep doing that, and you're gonna have an experience and a whole nother perspective at this last season than what you got just by watching the games.
Absolutely.
It makes it more personal. It makes it more interesting. Right?
Absolutely.
You see where we're all coming from. Super, super intriguing, man. Super crazy. What an awesome experience for everybody. So, yeah, man. Well, right? Man, this was an awesome season.
It was.
Super, super glad, man. Super appreciative of you, bro.
Oh, thanks.
Cool Connect for putting it on, bro. Craig, Kevin. Appreciate you.
It would not have happened at all without Craig and Kevin.
Facts.
0 episodes.
0. Because, shoot, you don't want to see me back there. I'll break some. Because I don't know what's going on. So, no, seriously. Appreciate all you guys and all you guys listening too, man. We wouldn't be here without y'all. So I appreciate you guys really just kicking it with us. Truthfully, that's what it comes down to. You're just hanging out with some realists. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking forward to season 2. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a whole nother transition in my personal life and honestly in all of ours.
Right.
I really do believe in all of our lives, man. This is a whole new chapter, not just mine. And even some of y'all listening too. It's probably the same thing for you. So I look forward to seeing y'all next season. It might be from afar for a little while, but we gonna get back in the studio.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get back up in here and chop it up. You know what I'm saying? But until then, thank you once again. I'm your host, Isaiah Bagnah of the Realist. And that is a close for season 1. Catch y'all next season.